Hi everyone, That Cat Mommy here, and today we're going to be talking about how to kitten proof your home. Now, will these ideas work if you have a cat? They sure will, but some of them will only apply if you have a kitten, just because older cats don't do the same things that little kittens do. Let's jump into these tips. So first, number one, biggest tip is you need to kitten proof your home. If you think you don't, you are lying to yourself. And one of the things, maybe you can't kitten proof your entire home. Maybe you have a special circumstance. You want to at least kitten proof one room that's going to be their main room. Notice I said room, not a closet, not a bathroom, a full room. It could be a bedroom, it could be your living room, it could be whatever kind of bonus room that you happen to have, but at least one room needs to be fully kitten proofed so that if you need to go to work or you need to step away, go to the grocery store or something, you know that leaving them in that room, they are not going to hurt themselves. Now, cats are a little bit smarter. They're a little bit more into stuff. They know they've tested things out a little bit, so they're not going to be quite as hardcore as kittens. Kittens are exactly the same as toddlers, and you're going to hear some of these tips and think, wow, this is very similar when I was child-proofing my home. Yes, it is, because they are little babies. Now, we went the route of kitten proofing one room. We are fortunate enough to have a room that we could kitten proof. It's a bedroom. The kittens have their own bedroom. And then our older cat, Boo Boo, you can see his foot, he's being shy. He actually has dominion over our bedroom, and we don't let the kittens in our bedroom. We wanted him to be able to maintain this as his territory and them to be able to maintain the other room as their territory, and then they share the living room as common space. Now, this comes in super key when you're trying to make sure that you don't have cats fighting and killing each other all the time. And I'll link in the video of this description to some videos that'll help you if you're trying to introduce a kitten, a new cat or a kitten to an existing pet that you already have in your home. So since Boo had, this is Boo Boo, since he had domination and he had already claimed the territory of the entire house, losing that one bedroom was an issue for him at first, but he quickly got over it, just because he decided he didn't like the kittens. He didn't want to be around them, so fine, they can be in there. Now, when we do let them out in the living room, we have to keep our eyes on them to make sure they don't annoy him and he doesn't beat the tar out of them too much anyways. And so our living room is semi-kitten proofed, not 100% kitten proofed, because we never allow them in our living room with us actually physically having our eyes on them. So this is also comes in great if you need to go to the grocery store, if you need to, you got to go to work and you haven't kitten proofed your whole house, or you can't kitten proof your old house, or you have an existing cat that wants territory, or whatever the reason is. Having that one room to put them in so that you know that they're safe is super key. This also comes into play like when I go to bed at night. The kittens are in their bedroom and Boo Boo is in here with me, being my little guard kitty. So kittens and cats in general, they're gonna climb on anything, but big cats tend to not do as much crazy stuff as little kittens. Little kittens will literally climb on anything. So most cats climb on bookshelves, they get up on your couch, they might get up on near your TV, which if you have an expensive TV, you know they're super light now and it doesn't take much to knock them over, so that could be a huge issue for you. But they also do stuff like climb blinds, climb drapes, climb tablecloths, climb bedspreads. They climb anything that they can get their little tiny claws, and they don't weigh hardly anything, and they're just climbing all over stuff. So you need to consider that when you are kitten proofing your home or kitten proofing a certain bedroom. Basically, if you're kitten proofing a specific room to just put them in, or your house, anything that you value and don't want to get torn up, put away, put up. Put it away, because they will find it and they will destroy it. Okay, so just know that going into it, and you can't really be mad at them. Again, it's like a toddler. They pull on stuff. They do all kinds of different stuff. So kitten proofing 101, remove that stuff or be okay with it getting ruined. So this is very similar to the fact that they'll climb on anything. They'll also claw anything and everything, including your furniture. Now, an easy way to stop your cats from clawing the furniture is to, number one, immediately when you see them do it, go over to them, pick them up, and take them to whatever is appropriate for them to claw. You have to have stuff for them to claw. Multiple things for them to claw. I do not personally, and this is a pet peeve of mine, I don't know why people sell these things, but I personally do not recommend getting your cats anything to claw that is carpeted. Okay, you know, the little spilly things that they can climb on and claw, those are good. Also cardboard. Why don't I suggest the carpet things? Because how is your cat supposed to know that they can claw this particular carpet thing, but they can't claw the carpet in your house? And listen, they're gonna want to do that. They're gonna want to claw the carpet. So for us, we don't use carpet scratchers. It's only cardboard or the little spilly cat clawer stuff. That is what we actually use in our home. Now, also, if you put them in a separate room, they're gonna claw your carpet and your door frame, okay, to try to get out, because they want to be out. They want to be near you. They want to be where the action's happening, okay? And if you leave and go to work and you put them in your bedroom and come back home, you might end up with clawed up marks in between your door, where your door meets, where your door closes. Also on the side of the door where they're clawing, they want to get out, they want to, you know, explore. They're kittens, they're curious. So what we do is actually cut a piece of fabric. At first I was using an old rag towel and I put it down over that barrier to the door. So if they do go to claw, all they're clawing is the rag or the piece of cloth. Some people even use, depending on how high or low your door is, they use a rug. Our doors were so close to the carpet that I could not use a rug. So the only thing that I could find that was the most helpful was a piece of fabric, and that worked out for me. But you do want to make sure that you protect your carpeted area around that. Also, as far as the door goes, like the door frame, you can use aluminum foil or tape. I like to use packaging tape, flip it inside out where the sticky side is on the outside, and put that up. That just seems to work really well. Cats seriously hate to have that sticky stuff on their paws. My kittens didn't care about aluminum foil. They wanted to eat it. I was like, you cannot eat the aluminum foil. Okay, so that does work for some kitties. Other kitties, it doesn't. Okay, so another thing that they do is they knock over trash cans. So if you have a trash can in whatever room you happen to be leaving your kitten in, or if you've let it roam the whole entire house, you got to put that trash can away. It's got to be in a closet. It's got to be tucked in somewhere, or you have to physically keep your eyes on it. So I recommend keeping a really good eye on them, but they're super sneaky and they get in places really, really fast. And that's another tip too. You have to think about, where can my cat squeeze into? Where can they get into fast? So any place that they can squeeze into, we've seen our laundry room is off limits to them. And that's another thing. If you have a room that you don't want to cat proof, just leave the door closed at all times. Let's talk about other things that kittens can get into that could hurt them. This is your stove when it's cut on. This is your fireplace. These are your electric heaters. Cats love heat, and kittens don't understand that can hurt them. That can burn you. Candles, another one. You got to keep all those things out of reach of your cat. And if you have a fire going, the cat can't get near it. And you have to be diligent, like you will with a child, like a toddler. So when they do something that you don't want them to do, you have to go over to them and redirect the activity. If they go right back to it, you have to redirect the activity. There have been times where I've had to redirect activity 10 times. Like literally I'd sit down and I have to get back up and redirect it. I have to get back up and redirect it. If you get frustrated and you're like, I need a minute, that is where the kitten proofing room comes in, which has all their toys and all their fun stuff and their food and their water and their whatever, that you can then say, I just want to sit and enjoy my fireplace and my cup of coffee, okay? And you can put them in the room and then bring them out in a few minutes, okay? So we've covered hot. Now let's cover water, okay? Because your toilet, they can get in your toilet and not get out, and they can drown or get hurt or Lord knows whatever. So I recommend just keeping your bathroom doors closed. We have all our bathroom doors closed. We don't leave those bathroom doors open. If I'm using one of the bathrooms, obviously they can't fall in the toilet if I'm using it, you know, so I don't mind them coming in then. They don't just have free roam of our bathrooms, because I'm not going to put my toilet seat up and down. The other option, if you want to let them have free roam of your bathroom, is to leave your toilet lid, woo, Southern came out, is to leave your toilet lid down, permanently down. Now, Some cats can lift them, and you might have to get a childproof lock for your toilet. Again, I'm not doing all that. I would rather just leave the door closed. This one is huge. This is big. This is death or insanely expensive vet bill. And so I'm going to go over the list because it's quite an extensive list when you look around your home and you think of the things that you need to remove or put in a drawer or hide or whatever from these kittens. So we have stray rubber bands. That's a big one. They like to chew on them. They look fun. They'll swallow them. Ribbon, another one that they can swallow. Now, I'm not saying they can't have a toy with a ribbon on it. We do have several toys that have little ribbon things and little different things on them. We don't leave those in their room. Those stay where I can eyeball them, and when I'm playing with them, I can take them out and put them up when I'm playing with them just to make sure they don't chew the string and swallow it, or the ribbon and swallow it. Twine is another one. Strings in general. This is a big one. Sewing supplies. Some of you guys can see I got my sewing machine back there. The thread. They just ate it, and then in their intestines. Super, super bad. Hair ties are another one. Twist ties, like I said, off of anything that's twist tie. Another one, plastic bags. They love to eat plastic. Even the plastic that their litter comes in. They're like, and I'm like, stop eating the plastic. What is wrong with you? So another one is, again, I said sewing supplies. Toys, if you got kids, toys with small parts. Small board game pieces, exactly the same thing. Household plants. If you're a plant person, you have to keep them away from your cats, okay? There's so many plants that are poisonous. If you really want to have greenery in your house, well, why not opt for something that your cats can actually eat, like cat grass or catnip, or something that's not going to hurt them. Those are the two big ones if you want to grow some stuff in your house. But you might say, you know, Carla, I don't have plants, but we like fresh flowers. Flowers, oh my goodness, fresh cut flowers. Lilies are poisonous to cats. So you have to be really careful with what flowers you bring into your home. I'm not saying don't have them. I'm just saying you need, if your kittens are going to be in that room, eyeballs on the kitten to make sure they don't bother it. But I would recommend picking all those plants up off the floor. All of them, and getting them up as high as you possibly can. Even like some kind of wire hanging from the ceiling where the cats can't jump up and get them might be what you're looking for if you're a pet parent. And they make some really cool boho vibey looking plant thingies that you can hang up. I'm not a plant person. We only grow plants that the cats can eat. But if you are, there's some really cute stuff out there. Another thing you don't want them to get their hands on is cleaning supplies. They try to crawl under the sink every time we open it, which is where our cleaning supplies are. So I'm always like trying to block, you know, it's like a football player, like, oh no, or soccer, you know, block a kitten from getting in there with whatever body part I can use, you know, I'll sacrifice a leg. So you want to keep them out of your cleaning supplies, and try to use cleaning supplies that are going to be somewhere that they're going to walk on their paw pads that are non-toxic. Okay, I will link in the bottom of this video to a ton of kitten resources, everything that I use to kitten proof my house. But if you're just looking for something simple and easy, white vinegar and lemon juice do a lot. Okay, cats don't like citrus though, so again, I would make sure you wipe that down really well if you're using it on your floors or whatever. But keep those cleaning supplies out of their way. Also, your medicines. Medicines. We do not want to give kittens medicine, okay? So keep them out of the way. And then your food and drinks, like they have no concept. Like older cats kind of are like, I don't want that. Kittens are like, oh, I'll put it in my mouth and then see if I don't want it later, okay? Okay, so you got to be careful with what they put in their mouth. Now, these two are super deadly, okay? Number one, electrical cords, and they love them. They love them. Kittens love an electrical cord. It's hanging. When they bat it, it moves. They just chew on them, okay? So you want to wrap those electrical cords. Now, you don't want to just wrap electrical cords with like whatever you got around the house. Like, oh, I found a rag. We'll wrap this electrical cord. No, that is a fire hazard. It can be an issue. But there are these really cool things they sell at most home supply stores, like home improvement places, that they use for, like, professional electricians use to wrap stuff that goes in your home, and you can use this to wrap for your kittens. And again, I'll link to that below the video as well, so you guys can check those out. But you want to make sure that you wrap all of your electrical cords. Another thing, your blinds. Cats can choke themselves. So in addition to electrocuting themselves on the cords, the blinds can choke them. And again, your little spilly things that the blinds make the blinds go up and down, they love those. They hang, they bat, it moves, it's a toy, they don't get it. So all of our blinds are like halfway up the blind. We don't actually use them, but just like the top half, the bottom half we don't use. The top half is the part that we use. And just so they can't get their necks hung in there, curtains, we use curtains again in their room so that that we don't care about, that they can claw up. Now, as far as like the blind cord, you're going to want to wrap that with a rubber band and keep it up nice and high. Now, why a rubber band? Because if you tie them in a knot, you might not be able to get that knot out later when you want to. Okay, so great to tie them with a rubber band. I speak from experience as I have messed up a few blinds. And I was like, of course, a rubber band. Why didn't I think of that? Duh. But use a rubber band. And then when you do want to bring them back down and they're no longer kittens and they don't give a crap about batting that because they'd rather sleep or play with an actual toy, you can just cut the rubber band. And be careful you don't cut your blind cords. But it's a lot easier than trying to untangle the mess that you made when you knotted up the cord so the kitty couldn't get into it. Now, these are my extra tips, okay? So number one is you have to be willing to adapt. And remember, you are smarter than a kitten, okay? Literally every time I have done something and they have found a way to MacGyver their own little self around it, I just keep repeating in my head, I'm smarter than a kitten, I'm smarter than a kitten, I'm smarter than a kitten, I'm smarter than a kitten. And sometimes I don't feel like I am, but it gives me the motivation I need to fix whatever it is. And you kind of have to be your own MacGyver. You kind of have to be like, what can I do to fix this? And sometimes you may have to sit down and actually think out and problem solve how to get your cat to stop doing whatever it's doing. So you want to always redirect behavior in a calm, loving manner. You don't want to be mean to them. So the next thing that you really want to do is have enough toys for your kitty. You want to make sure they have enough things to keep them entertained so that they don't want to go and try to find something that they shouldn't play with. Now, this is another, if you're going to have things in your cat approved room or you can't get them out of your house, like obviously this dresser, where am I going to put it? If I had it in my bedroom and my cats were in that bedroom and I didn't want the cats on this to ruin this finish or to claw it, or I was worried, concerned about something like that, cover it with fabric. Okay, fabric is great. They can climb on it. They can put their claws in it. It's probably not going to damage what you have underneath it. So we use this with I have these leather bins that I use as like a window seat for the cats to climb on. He is not going to stick his claws and claw up those leather bins. He's just not going to do it. He's going to sit on the blanket and lay there and look out the window. The kittens, they want to claw up the leather bins. So I had to cover them all with old fabric or blankets or something that I didn't care about. I actually had an old bedspread that I used to cover that kind of stuff with. So that's another tip for you as well. Again, I told you about plastic tape. I use packaging tape. It's bigger, it's stickier, it's better in my opinion, and you just roll it outside where the sticky part is on the outside and put it over things that you don't want them to get on. So for like us, we used it for our bookshelf. We put the sticky tape around the bookshelf and then they won't make it past that part on the bookshelf because they don't want to get the sticky on their paws. Again, I told you aluminum foil did not work for me because when I first wanted them to quit climbing on the bookcase that they were climbing on, I never thought they would climb this bookcase because I put heavy stuff on the bottom and I thought there's no way they can really navigate. Somehow they navigated, okay? And again, they're tricky, but I'm smarter than a kitten. And so what I ended up doing was saran wrapping. Some of you guys will see it in my video. I was like, screw this. I saran wrapped the whole top part of this bookcase. I didn't have anywhere to put the bookcase. It had to stay in that room. And I wanted to be able to like set my drinks and stuff on there when I went into the kitten's room. So saran wrapped the third shelf so that they couldn't get past that to go up to the top shelf. So saran wrap worked for me. Again, every cat is different. And then at the bottom of that saran wrap, I put the packaging tape with the sticky side out so that they wouldn't want to get on that as well. Another great, cheap, free, not free, well, maybe free, kind of, Easy thing that you can DIY a kitten stay away from area is cardboard. Okay, where our we've actually taped cardboard to our washing machine because, you know, a washing machine won't go all the way back to the wall. There's a gap. Okay, a kitten's a perfect chef's kiss kitten-sized gap that is in the back of that thing. So we just put a piece of cardboard. We cut off a box and taped it, packaging tape. That stuff is strong. And I'll link to the packaging tape I used too, in case you're wondering, to the back of that thing so that when they ran into the laundry room, they couldn't get back in there. They were just like, what? And there's also a gap between the washer and dryer that's perfectly kitten size. They just taped a piece of cardboard there. Now, hey, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but you can DIY, do a little fancy smancy at the Dollar Tree. You just go get you some shelf paper or stickers or wherever and sticker that bad boy, and it will just look like, you know, a piece of a board or something there. Nobody would even know that it was cardboard. But we use cardboard for literally anything we don't want them to get into. So that's another great tip for you guys as well when you're kitten proofing. Again, I hope you guys got value out of this. If you did, make sure you give us a thumbs up. I hope kitten proofing will be easy for you guys. If you love this video and you want more content from me, make sure you smashy that subscribe button, because every time somebody hits that bell, cat gets a treat. It's a guarantee around here. Again, thank you guys so much for watching till the end of this video. And until I see you over on the next one, remember to keep living your most perfect life.